Welcome to the social reel. Welcome to the social reel.
Hello, my friends. We meet again. It's been a while. Where should I begin?
It's been a while.
It's been
It's like
12 hours.
yeah, I was going to say, not even.
We hope you enjoyed the box breaking thing. I haven't even looked at the numbers. I have no idea if people are watching it or not. Today, we have a guest on. We're going to bring him on in just a second. We have a lot to get to today. We have snacks. I saw some movies. I want to talk about Team USA beating Canada.
Yeah.
That's going to take up my life for
Blame
the next
Canada.
6 days or so until something sad happens. Like,
It's good stuff. I love the Winter Olympics.
I see that, like, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico is getting fucking just firebombed and, like, it's a whole war going crazy. And I'm like,
Doesn't matter. We won the gold.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. I'm like, let them figure out their own fucking problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a hockey team out of this. Who knows?
We'll just get more illegals coming across. I want to address the TikToks.
Oh.
We don't care. Fuck Bad Bunny. Like, we get it. You love him. We don't care.
That seems to be the trigger, though. Like, if you mention Bad Bunny,
I know.
like, all the white people come out of the woodworks to tell you how much they love Bad Bunny and how much you don't season your food. It's the greatest thing.
My favorite comment was Trump should tariff
Podcasting equipment? Yeah.
more. Like, first off,
Yeah, we've heard that joke before.
Yeah, I've had plenty of money, so no matter how much he tariffed it, I'd still be able to podcast.
You can literally talk into your laptop.
Exactly. So, all right. Without further ado, I consider him an expert. I don't really know his credentials for being an expert, but I do know that tons of Facebook pages like retweet his stuff, reshare his stuff. Whenever I get really mad about politics, I always go and see the Aaron Voss comment section or post because I align with him politically the most, but he always knows how to make the most sense of it. And I'm having him on this week because I would say he is more of the Republican view, and we're going to have Mike back on next weekend to look at the Democratic view, but we're going to talk about the Epstein stuff because I know for a fact that this dude has read all the 3 million emails or whatever. So without further ado, my buddy, Facebook friend, Aaron Voss.
Hello. How's it going?
How are you doing today?
I'm all right.
Cool. So, yeah, I don't know if you heard that little intro. I think you should have, but
You should have, yes.
Okay.
Although my wife did come in here and like want to talk about something like 3 seconds before.
Come on.
I was like, I'm on a podcast right now. I'll be on there in like just a second. She's like,
So I just need to know if you want chicken or beef tonight.
We are not professional. We are not professional enough, and we don't get enough listeners that you guys can have a full blown conversation, and we will leave it in the show because we don't care.
We don't edit
We are
anything.
not we don't edit. We're not professional. This is just me talking to my friends. So
Sure, cool.
Okay, man. So I I know you were in the military. What do
I
you do
was.
for a living? Like,
I'm a
what
nurse.
makes you okay?
So
I
right,
thought
so I
that
started-
because I remember.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I started as an EMT long time ago, and then first I went to. Okay, let's back all the way up. Born in Oklahoma, raised in Indiana, about 2 hours south of Chicago, and then I went to and then sorry, my wife's okay.
No, you're fine.
And then I went
Tell
to.
her. Is her name Megan? Megan,
Yes,
come on
it is.
in. Ask the questions you need to ask. It's okay. This is not
Okay,
a real
so-
podcast.
Sure.
So then I went to art school, EMT school after that because I found out art school doesn't pay any money. So unfortunately,
Yeah.
it was I was really unfortunate. But back then they were just like, go to college, whatever. It doesn't matter what you graduated, just get a degree. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I like drawing things. Anyways,
Yeah.
that didn't work out well. So Fortunately, my mom was a nurse, and she had told me to go get my EMT to work while I was in college. And so I already had my EMT at the time. And so I was like, I'll just go get my paramedic. And then I worked as a paramedic for a while, and I was going to school to be a nurse. And then the credit crisis hit in 2008. And then I was like, they were like, you don't have any student loans to hand out because there's a credit crisis. Out-of-state student tuition you're gonna have to pay in cash. And I was like, well, I don't have 14 grand, so who does really? Just especially at that age, nobody. So I joined the Army as a medic, and then I was a combat medic, and then I did a little bit of flight medic stuff, but I didn't really stay in that. I went to nursing school in the Army, and then I got out, and now I've been a nurse for a few years, many years now.
I've been here
2011,
for a while, and I knew you were a nurse, but I did not realize that you were a nurse during COVID because you did.
Yes, I was.
Did you? You didn't post about it that much, did you?
I did, but I did not say I wasn't working in the hospital at the time. I did get some offers to go do some travel nursing at the time, and they were. And I was like, I don't know about that. They were offering me a ton of money actually to go to New York at the time. It was some insane amount. It was like 10 grand a week to go to New York to be a COVID nurse. And I was like, I was looking at it, and I genuinely thought about it because like I was young and I was looking at the stats. I'm like, I mean, odds aren't that good that it's gonna kill me.
Right.
and like 10 grand a week, man. At an 8-week contract, that's 40 grand in 8 weeks, or 80 grand in 8 weeks.
What I mostly think about is when I think about that is like knowing your politics and knowing. I'm not saying it, not that COVID was fake or anything, but just that it wasn't as big deal as
it was a little blown.
It was a little blown out of proportion. And people can come at me all they want, but let's look at the facts. It was blown out of fucking proportion.
It was.
I remember being on the phone with the Walgreens lady, like, "Am I going to die when I got it?"
Right.
So, and it nothing. I literally sat in this room that we're in right now and built stuff. So
the thing that was going on at the time in with that, especially that alpha variant, it was just obliterating the nursing homes.
Yes.
I mean, it was coming in there like it was the actual like Grim Reaper, just swooping up old people, taking them out, like shuffling them off this mortal coil. Hell, forget shuffling. Racing them off this mortal coil, man. Like it was just absolutely destroying nursing homes, and especially in New York, that was the case.
I remember with the brother. I can't remember Cohen, not Cohen. What's his name? He just ran. Cuomo brothers.
Yeah. Andrew Cuomo was sitting there talking about like we're stacking bodies and all that. If they weren't really doing that, that wasn't what was happening. But if you remember, actually, back then, they moved that giant, basically it's a Navy vehicle, a Navy ship that's like a hospital ship. They moved it off the coast of New York because like Cuomo was like, we're all going to die. And then they treated like nobody on the ship. And like, that was just giant waste resources. But like,
shocker, that's the government.
Yeah, shocker. Oh, the government wasting resources. Who could have foreseen? But yeah, it was so stupid. The whole thing was stupid. And then the way, honestly, the way that we responded to COVID, we could not have done it worse. There was almost nothing we did that was like at all good for society, for the economy, for even treating people, for saving lives, for like almost everything we did was like the opposite of like what you should do. And it was like, man,
I am a firm believer that a lot of the deaths, even in the younger people, were caused by more malpractice than the actual variants.
Especially in the younger people, it was a remdesivir especially is so hard on the kidneys. I mean, it just destroys kidneys. Not great for the liver either. I mean, it is so rough. And and look, not every drug that we gave was a bad idea. We started giving like what was it, dexamethasone? Or not dexamethasone. I don't know. It was a steroid. Might have been dexamethasone. Anyway, so it was a steroid that we were giving that was working quite well. And there was, some other stuff that we were giving that was pretty good. We were also through trial and error learning almost relearning some of the methods to combat some of this stuff. Like proning patients on their stomach to try to get that blood flow to come through and pull all the fluid off their lungs, things like that were, but that's neither here nor there.
No,
the point is
because I don't think we ever talked about it, and I know, like I said, I like reading your stuff, and I was just like, wait a minute, he would have been a great resource because I remember I was working for ICE at the time, and I was screaming at my guys like, this isn't a big deal. They're treating you get shot
Yes.
and they test you for COVID. That's marked as a COVID death. You guys need to stop freaking out about this. And of course, everybody called me crazy and a fucking, like whatever. And I was just
it was a big deal if you were like 75 or more. If you on 70-ish or more, it was a big deal for them. For everybody else, it was not a big deal.
I know, but this rushing out, you're going to lose your job if you don't get the shot. And blah, blah, blah.
Don't get it wrong. There are some just lingering side effects from COVID that people are going to have. The spike protein in them is causing lingering problems. But honestly, those spike proteins, you're also getting them in the vaccine. So everybody is pretty much dealing with that.
And whatever the army put in me, I'm already ready for cancer. So I'm just counting the days. So. No,
I get it, man. I get it.
So the reason I wanted to have you on, the biggest reason I wanted to have you on, and this actually, so I don't want to, I have a bunch of thoughts, but I'm trying to piece them together, was the Epstein stuff, because I think it's super interesting. I don't think a lot of people, clearly a lot of people are talking about it, but I don't think a lot of people understand how to navigate it. And I am one of those people. Like, I see stuff and I get mad, and then I'm like, I hear that it's AI, and then I listen to something, and then, I've been listening to a lot of Joe Rogan and stuff like that. And I'm like, what's true? What's not true? I know you had posted about going through the files, reading everything. Before we get into like that, before I'm like, what is your main takeaway from that? I heard this week the craziest thing I'd ever heard, but I went online and a lot of people were like, I believe it. I believe it. This is crazy. This is
people
true.
Anything
I know.
now.
And I didn't, but I literally went back to your page and searched this, and you never posted about it. So I'm just curious. Have you heard of Sasha Riley?
Sasha Riley?
Yes.
No, I don't remember.
God,
what is
the second we're done with this? I need you to go do your Aaron Voss thing and absorb.
Yeah.
So
Sasha Riley.
All right. So he is a guy. He was in the military, and he was according to his story, he was in with a guy who was kicked out of the military for child porn. And this is the only reason I don't 100% believe this story, because he says that his commanding officers brought him in, said, hey, have you ever acted in child porn? Because this kid looks like you that we found on this guy's laptop. And the guy was like, yeah, I acted in child porn with Epstein and Trump, and they used to take me to these sex parties, and they'd have sex with me as a kid, and Trump would always kill puppies in front of me, and then I was having sex with this black girl, and then someone came in the room and shot her, and then I was they said that he had nothing to worry about because boys were harder to find than girls.
Sounds like a movie.
And his dad was a pilot or something that adopted him, and they killed another runaway girl, and then he went to a brothel, and then at some point he stuck a pole up Trump's butt, and it's just this insane story, and I didn't believe it, and then I started reading, and I was like,
are they saying this is in the files? Because there's a whole bunch of wild allegations toward the end that you're just like, right.
They're not saying it's in the files. The name of the dad is in the files that this guy had said, and this was years before they even released anything. This guy is just, I guess it's just right now it's a conspiracy theory, but we know how conspiracy theories work.
All of a sudden, this guy's got an outlandish story
to share
with everybody.
It's insane. I highly recommend it. There's a podcast
I'll look this up.
I'll send it to you. It's called The Conspiracy Files. I do not like the guy who runs it. His name is Colin Brower or something like that. And you can tell that he's a little biased in his politics, because he spends the first like 20 minutes of the episode being like, I don't care, I don't like Trump, but I believe this story. But then when you listen to the story, you're like, this is a fucking crazy ass story.
That's a really crazy story, man. Like, is there a year attached to this that this happened?
There's a whole timeline. It's a Substack with a whole timeline that's laid out, and like what happened and all this stuff when he joined the military, all this craziness. Like I said,
honestly, I got through the Epstein files, and then I was like, okay, I need like a cleanse, man. Like I gotta just avoid reading more crazy, insane nonsense for a while. So like that was a week ago though.
Right.
And I can get back into it now. But like for a little bit there, I was like, that was freaking dark. I need to like do a brain cleanse of all that.
I know that you posted a long post about the Epstein files, but just for our listeners, the fact that you're on a podcast and this is your first one ever,
sure.
you want to break it down for us, kind of the same way you broke it down on Facebook, what you found in the
sure.
files, how it works, what this is. I would tell people that if you're looking for something, this is the most comprehensive, because you've looked at them all. You've seen it everything. So
okay, so I did, but there was a lot of like weird blank pages that I went through, and then I found out later that some of those you have to convert them. You have to download and convert them into video files. Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, that's weird. I just skipped them because, man, I had 3.5 million pages to go through, and I was like, blank page, sweet, moving on. I was like, awesome. I don't have to read that one. So I might have to go back and go through that. I don't know.
I also want to know what you think beef jerky and pizza and grape soda means. So let's get into it.
Okay, let's get into it from the start. So I was curious, like, because from the very beginning, let's see, who is Epstein? Epstein appears to be just some like well-connected Jew, essentially, and not to get like weirdly anti-Semitic, but he is very Jewish supremacist, extremely so. I mean, he is all about Jewish supremacy. He goes into that all over the files. He's and that's one of the reasons that like he feels like it's okay to exploit these little girls and other people, is because they're not Jews. And even like it's weird because one of the emails later is like Bill Gates is coming off as he's like, maybe we shouldn't look into this eugenics stuff because like people are like sort of valuable. You shouldn't really do that. And Epstein's like, look at Bill Gates with his morality. And you're like, dude, what? Bill Gates? Like that guy is like extreme. Like Bill Gates is waffling because like he doesn't want to like basically be involved in this eugenics program that he wants to set up at Zorro Ranch. That Epstein wants to set up at Zorro Ranch. Zorro Ranch is a ranch that Epstein owns. I believe it was in Arizona. And like
New Mexico, because
New Mexico. That's right.
Scott here works with a guy who worked on the ranch.
Did you really? That's crazy.
Yep, just found out the other day. He's like, "Yep, I worked on the ranch." He's like, "I worked in the stables." He's like, I never saw Epstein. He's like, they would have days where he would come and be like, "Oh, the bigwig's coming. We got to
get the owner's here."
Up.
Right,
yeah.
right.
He said he saw Ghislaine Maxwell a couple times, but he was like, pretty much we just showed up and worked, man. And he's like,
as like any old ranch, right?
They'd have these like parties there and stuff that we would hear about, but we never really like got to experience it because we were gone. But he was like, yeah, it was crazy, man. It was like just crazy times. So I'm like, that is the nuttiest thing I've ever heard.
Well, if you read in the Epstein files, he's talking to Bill Gates and other people about how he wants to set up this like Jewish like basically breeding camp where they're going to like set up this like eugenics, like we're gonna make all these really smart Jewish babies. And like he's crazy. Okay, he's a crazy person. But anyway, so he's really into like this Jewish supremacy stuff. And he gets connected to a lot of just really powerful Jewish people that are kind of in academia, banking, Hollywood, media. I mean, they're just kind of everywhere. And it isn't necessarily that they are some like Jewish cabal, like some people are saying, like your noticers, you know who I'm talking about, are out there. Like, I mean, they're celebrating because, like, this is an obvious, like, well, I mean, it is sort of a Jewish cabal, but they aren't like, how do I say this? They're not like setting up, and they're not all like in a conspiracy about it. They're just like, Jews, right? Yeah, we're super awesome. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, they're just
We're
like,
the chosen people.
yeah, they literally say that. Like, they're not, we're chosen, right? Yeah, what we need is some more smart Jews around to do stuff. Like, they're all about that, man. He is extremely Jewish supremacist, and he goes around. He's well connected in, like I said, in these banks. He at one point literally says, "As you know, I represent the Rothschilds." Like, I mean, that's about as high up banking Jew as you can get. Like, he was also involved at J.P. Morgan, and like, I was wondering where he got his money from, because everybody's like, "Oh, he's this rich billionaire who like went around." And I was like, "So where is he getting his money? What does he do? He just What does he do? He owns all this. He owns his island and his ranch and his apartment. He makes tons of money. Everybody says he knows what to do with money. Where is he getting his money from?" Well, it turns out he's getting these money from all these well-connected people. Lex Wexler is another one. Victoria's Secret gives him a ton of money. He's, like I said, well connected with these banking people, but he's also really well connected with Ehud Barak, who was the prime minister of Israel before Netanyahu. Ehud Barak was known to be more liberal than Netanyahu. Wanted to appease the Palestinians. He was a more liberal guy. And he was ousted by Netanyahu. And but under, like, Epstein was pretty well connected to Mossad while Ehud Barak was in there. Once Netanyahu got into power, not so much. Still kinda, but like not. It wasn't the same way. He still had connections, but it wasn't like. But when Ehud Barak was in, like, he was pretty buddy with them, and they had a lot of stuff going on there. So like when people are like, "Oh, he's an agent for Israel," I mean, kinda. He's kind of his own agent. He does his own thing. He's almost like on top of the government structures. Like, governments come to him. Like, he isn't working for any government. I mean, he is, but more like governments are working, like, coming to him.
Wasn't he in the CIA or MI6, or didn't he have connections with that? Okay.
He had connections to both CIA and MI6. He also had connections with the UAE. He also had connections with Saudi Arabia, especially the royalty. He had connections kind of all over. That was his thing. He was a networker. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but he was a networker. That's what he did. He networked all these people together, and that's where he made his money. He was a professional networker, and that's how we got his billions. And that's also why he was eventually got involved with the sex trafficking and these parties and stuff, because he was trying to network with some pretty sick people. And to be honest, he's also a very sick person. So, they got along. Anyways, I don't know. That's what else you want to know. Oh, the pizza thing, right? Man,
that's code.
I do. So when the Podesta emails came out, I did something similar, and I read all them. And because I'm a speed reader, and it doesn't take me long to read things really quickly. And I went through them all, and I was like, yeah, they keep bringing up pizza, and they are talking about it in a weird way, and like, it is really strange, but I just don't have like evidence that this leads to children in the Podesta emails. Like, there's some weird stuff that, like, the way they're talking about pizza, super weird. No one talks about pizza that way. They just don't. No one discusses, like, hey, I'm gonna have pizza for an hour. Like, how? Like, who who
That's not
has
normal?
pizza for? Yeah. I mean, like who eats pizza for an hour straight? Like
You
that
never
seems
met my wife.
Just me. Oh, yeah, his wife is a
Brutal.
very slow eater.
2 slices takes her like 3 hours.
We're at vacation.
well-
We're like, come on.
Oh no. That's
She's not in
rough,
the
man.
files though, so it doesn't make any sense.
No, yeah. So
that
it's
we
fine,
know
it's fine.
of, because everybody's
Yeah.
apparently.
There is a lot of people in the files. And the thing is, like, well, I'll get to that later. So the pizza thing. I didn't have enough evidence at the time to connect it to children. There was some weird stuff with in Pizzagate. You may remember that. I don't know.
I
It
do.
was-
I think Pizzagate is real now.
I do too. At the time, I didn't. At the time, I was like,
Same.
look, this stuff is weird. This stuff is creepy. This stuff is. And I don't have good explanations for this, but I don't have evidence of children yet. I don't have evidence that you have procured children and then have then trafficked them. I have evidence of you being weird, like and saying weird things and obviously speaking in code, and that is a problem. But I just don't have enough evidence to say that this is for sure confirmed that you guys are child traffickers. But now I do.
Right.
Now I see Epstein talking to people about pizza in way and like just explicit terms that you're just like, there's no way that this is about pizza, man. Like you shouldn't be talking about this. Not like
Right.
this.
Oh,
And
I 100%
there's
agree.
also I don't know about the jerky thing. He does talk about jerky in weird ways, and it's very strange because, like, man, no
They're
one
saying
really
that that's
discusses
the eating the babies or whatever.
eating the babies, right? And I don't have evidence of that.
Right.
I mean, look, they are talking about it weirdly, and you know what? Maybe in a few years, some more emails get dropped, and I'll have to come back and be like, "Hey, you know what? Remember they were talking about jerky? There we were." And I was like, "I don't think that's eating babies." And I'm like, "It may
That's what
come
I
out
said. I think
later."
there's a lot of speculation.
Well,
at this
I guess-
point.
There's a ton of speculation,
I
and
guess
like
what
some of
Go
the
ahead.
stuff that they're saying is just absurd. Like for instance, the other day there was someone posting about like how Epstein had a dental thing on his island, and that they were ripping the teeth out of all these children to use them, and then to traffic them because those kids don't need teeth for what they're doing. And I was like, okay, first off, gross. Secondly, Epstein, he did have a dental thing on his island. That part's true. But the reason he has a dental thing on his island is because his girlfriend, who is grossly young, but not the point.
Still on the
her,
island,
her
by the
name
way.
is and her name is Karina, by the way. But you can look this up. But Karina was going to be a dental student. She was in dental school, and actually she got in under some suspicious circumstances and donations. But that's not the point. The point is that yeah, imagine,
School.
imagine,
Yeah,
yeah,
that stuff doesn't happen.
yeah. I know. Who could have foreseen?
Influential money?
Yeah. I know. Crazy. But so like, look, Karina was working in dental school stuff, and like needed a place to practice. That's all this is. Like, and honestly, it's still weird because like in this little dental room that they set up, which is pretty small. It's like a decent closet size space, you know. But like in this little dental room, there's a whole bunch of weird masks on the wall, and that's the weirder part to me. Because I'm like,
I think
why
I
did
know
you
what you're
put
talking
old?
about, yeah.
Why did you put old man masks all over the wall? That's very strange. Like no one finds that comforting, man. Like that's very odd. Like,
For their
that part I
satanic
find weird.
rituals, Aaron.
Right.
Clearly,
Maybe they
Maybe.
wear them so that she feels
When they're
like she's
eating the
working
babies.
working on a
when they're
70-year-old
eating
man.
babies, right? Yeah, maybe. But
Well,
like,
getting into the current administration, I know that they haven't released all the files. Apparently, that's super illegal. I don't know why. I just heard it over and over and over again. I heard that he purchased a bunch of like sulfuric acid right like the second he got indicted, and he's never ever made that purchase before. So because a lot of people are like, oh, well, he had a water treatment plant on the island and he needs it for that, but he's never made a purchase of that size before. So a lot of people are speculating that he had bodies to dissolve of. And then, yeah. So, and also, I guess the biggest thing, and I want to know if you think this is true. I know you don't have any evidence. All this is speculation. We don't know anything. We're three dorks sitting in a room. But
Sure.
my biggest question to you is like the files that they haven't released that are being very hush hush are from 1999 to 2001, and I guess the speculation is that he had something to do with the financing of the hijackers in 9/11, and people in the
if
government
I'm
were aware.
speculating, it's hard. I mean, it's hard for me to say. It's difficult for me to say. Because I don't have. I try to go with what I have actual evidence on, and I obviously don't have that evidence.
Right.
Those files are not released. You're right. There's something like 3 million. They said they had 6 million files. They released something like 3.5 million. So
Why
like
haven't we got
2.5 million files are just not there. Now they say that they say that those files are like child porn and stuff like that they won't. And I'm not trying to look at child porn, man. But man, like that's not. Look, there's enough creepy, weird, gross stuff in the files already that I am not dying to look at more right now.
Right,
Yeah, I don't know obviously about what's in the files there. There is some. Look, the thing is, emails weren't that big, especially in the late 90s. Like they didn't pick up huge until the 2000s. So there isn't even in the files. There's not just tons of stuff from that area already until like Blackberries come along, and then it's just like email. It's just they're just constant. They just treated them like they were.
I used to AOL chat my girlfriend all the time when I was a junior in high school. Okay, so we
Yeah.
can't say that.
Oh, absolutely. Like AOL chats and like I was around for ICQ, man. I was even before that. But like,
but once it went to handheld operation, man, it was like
right. But once it went to handheld, then everybody was like, send, and it was just constant, right? And so like he doesn't have a lot of emails prior to like the 2000-ish area anyways. Like after 2000 there's still like around 2002, 2001, 2002 you get like a cherry pick here and there, but there's not tons of them until those Blackberries come out, and then it's just an absolute deluge of them. Then you're just like, okay, now I'm almost overloaded with emails. Right. You're just emailing about dumb shit now.
Yeah.
100%. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep you all night. I just have a couple more questions, and we'll let you.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I got tons of time, man.
I know.
No worries.
Is there a list?
No. Shut up.
No, unfortunately, it'd be a lot easier. I mean, there's kind of a list that they made. There is a list made that is like, everybody that's ever mentioned. But like that doesn't.
So we had this discussion, and he was very adamant that there is a list, and I said, they're not dumb enough to make a fucking list of people. He's not out there with a Santa scroll saying, here's all the list of people that committed pedophilia acts. And
That's
I'm like,
true.
I go, there's a lot of emails that mention a lot of people. I was like, people assume that there is a list because of flight logs. Yes. They had a list of people that came in and out of the island on flight logs. So they're like, well, he must have a list of all the people that committed these crimes. And I'm like, no, they don't. They don't.
Yeah,
that's why we don't have
a list. No, they don't have a list. And there's a whole so the first part is like there's emails that are back and forth, right? Like there's tons and tons of Epstein emails. That's basically what most of these files are. There's a subsection of videos that are kind of boring. There's a bunch of stuff about finances that are really kind of boring. That's what people go to him for, was financial advice. There was tons and tons of just boring financial bullshit that you just sort of have to wade through to find anything that's remotely interesting. But then there's, at the end of it, there's like a section that's just like tip line allegations, where like people would just like call in and say wild shit. And like, you're like,
a lot of people are using that as fact.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
And I think there's a lot of people that are in these discussions because, like I was saying before, this is a guy that nobody knew who he was. Dude, if I had millions and millions of dollars, I could plug myself into any pipeline right now and just be like, hey, I'm super fucking rich, man. I want to be in this party. I'm going to host a party. Hey, have these celebrities over. And I think a lot of people got caught in the crosshairs of it. So I don't necessarily believe that everybody who's mentioned in all these emails and stuff have something to do with it. I think there's a lot of people that were like, oh, there's a lot of weird shit going on here, and I'm just I'm here for the party.
And the thing is too that you have to keep in mind that like the pedophilia stuff, that was probably reserved for a pretty specific clientele.
Yeah.
Like that's probably that's not most people. Like most people were there were just hooking up with basically hookers. Like most of the people that he imported a lot of like essentially whores from Russia, Romania, Ukraine, yeah, white girls that were basically from Eastern Europe / Russia, and especially white girls because they were in demand. He occasionally would talk about how he's very racist, by the way, extremely so. Like he's talking about like race all the time, but he's talking about
other
race
people from other countries are super racist. And other ethnicities.
He's extremely racist, and he's like basically he just doesn't want no black women. Nobody wants black women, and he only wants white women, and like white women are fine. We don't want to have any young Jewish women because those aren't to be exploited. And Latinos are okay, but only if they're hot. And
they're all hot, Jeffrey.
Whatever floats your boat, man. I'm not in on any of that. Whatever. But like, there's a lot. I mean, he brought a lot of just normal, like age, like 20-ish hookers over from Eastern Europe or whatever to be at his parties. And like, look, is that gross? I mean, yeah, kind of not what you want. But is it like illegal? Kinda. It's just not the same as pedophilia, though. Like don't get it wrong, there was some of that, absolutely. But a lot of the stuff that they're talking about doing, it just isn't that nefarious, Even like Howard Lutnick gets caught in a lie, right? He's absolutely caught in this lie, by the way, where he's like, well, I never hung out with him after I noticed he was a bad guy. Like, I noticed he was talking about a massage chair in his room. He's like, I saw a massage chair in his room, and he said he gets the good kind of massages every day. And I said, gross, and I'm never going to see him again. And then he's in the files talking about, hey, me and my family are going to come meet you a few years later. And you're like, dude, you were so busted. Like, why did you think that would fly, man? You knew these files were coming out. Right. I guess not. But like, to say that, like, oh, therefore Howard Lutnick is a pedophile. Like, man, there's no evidence. There's no evidence of that. There's just no evidence for any of that. Is he a liar? Yes. Is he a pedophile? No. And like you can't make that claim. It's just ridiculous, some of the stuff that they're saying.
Is Trump? Is he the big?
I was waiting for it.
Well, I'm just.
No, I knew.
Let's cover our bases.
No, I knew. I was waiting for the question. I was waiting to see when
Trump,
you were going to answer.
Pedophile island, guy, and is he?
I have no evidence at all that he ever went to the island. I have no evidence at all he ever went to the ranch. I don't even have evidence he ever went to visit him in his New York apartment. Which maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Let's face it, he was in New York a lot at the time. I do have quite a bit of evidence that he was friends with him prior to 2005, 2006, around in there. And it does appear that Epstein was into some little girl shit around like the early 2000s. Now, it doesn't look like he was super into the little girl shit before that. Like, he's mostly just into the finance world at that point in time. In like the early 2000s, the late 90s, early 2000s, from what I can tell, he's mostly just doing weird finance stuff. He's mostly just connecting to like CIA, MI6. Like he's connecting and networking prior to that. But he's not really like throwing big parties or anything until later. In the early 2000s is when he starts getting his groove on and starts doing some hinky shit. And like that's when he and Trump are starting to be like, hanging out in the same circles, and like, he's in Miami Beach all the time, or Palm Beach, I'm going to say, and like they're and they're friends in New York as well. And Epstein's also loaning out his jet all the time around this time too, because Epstein has this private jet at the time, and he's loaning it out occasionally. And Trump takes advantage of that a few times. He uses jet a few times. He does ride on the Lolita Express a few times, but he doesn't. He goes to New York, man. Like he doesn't go to the island. He doesn't do. I mean, there's no evidence of anything weird. There's no. Epstein's not with him. There's nobody else that's on the plane. It's just.
So what you're saying into this microphone right now is that he did not go to some lake and watch a 13-year-old give birth and then kill the baby in front of the girl.
No, I got no evidence of that whatsoever. There's none of that in the files.
Well,
now
TikTok
there is.
The heads are exploding.
There's none of that in the files. I can't find. Like he is mentioned. Trump is mentioned in the files a lot. In fact, Epstein's sort of obsessed with him after 2005. He thinks that Trump is a co-conspirator that basically rats him out to the cops and is helping the investigation into him that eventually gets him locked up. And like he just theorizes about that in the files. He's talking about it with other people, and he thinks that this guy's behind him. That Trump's out to get him, essentially. And it turns out that he was right about that. Yeah. It turns out I see that. I didn't see that coming because that came out after I finished all the files. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. He was a little paranoid, Like, okay, what do you want to do? I mean, I don't know. Epstein was a paranoid guy, but like it turns out he was right. Trump did call the cops on him in around 2006, and before that they had that falling out at Mar-a-Lago that they talk about all the time, where I guess I obviously wasn't there, but. Basically Trump says to ban him from Mar-a-Lago because he's trying to get with and traffic some of the young staff that work there, and trying to like convince them to come to his parties. Like, oh, you're hot, you should come to my sweet party that I'm having. We're gonna have a great time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And and one of the girls complains about it, and then Trump was like, okay, well, you can't come back because you're a creep. Good for Trump. Good for Trump. Although there's something about that. Okay, well, I'll get to that later. So then,
get to it now.
Throughout the files, huh?
Oh, I just said get to it now. We have nowhere to go.
All right. Well, all right. So, I'll finish this part first. So then, throughout the rest of the files, you have basically Trump or Epstein thinks Trump is behind his arrest, and then in 2008, and then after that, obviously Trump runs for president in 2016, and Epstein hates him. Yeah, he did. Spoilers. So, and that's another thing that's interesting about this is it's all this time capsule, right? You're pulling out files from a time that is, they're talking about shit that doesn't matter anymore. This stuff is old news. All this stuff is super old news. And he's talking about Trump like man, I hate that guy. I definitely don't want him to be president. I'm going after him. I'm going to marshal all my forces to get this guy out of there. There's no way they're going to elect this guy. He's just going off about it. He hates Trump. He's going off about him all the time to anybody that'll listen about how much he hates Trump. And, Trump gets mentioned a lot in these files, but not in like a good way. I guess kind of in a good way because Epstein hates him. But he goes after him all the time about how much he hates Trump, how much of a bad guy Trump is. Trump is the worst person ever. Trump, he's just Trump. We can't allow Trump to be president and all this stuff. And what gets me about now is that Trump dragged his feet on releasing these files. He had to be pulled kicking and screaming. He had to be pulled kicking and screaming over this finish line by Massey and MTG and Boebert and all these other people that were signing on to this. And let's face it, everybody else except for one person signed up to this too, because who wants to be on the record being like, no, don't release these files? Nobody. That's a nightmare. But Trump, we know for a fact, pressured people to not release these files, and I don't know why, because he comes off as sort of an unsung hero in these files, as a man who was trying to get Epstein, who Epstein hated him, a man who helped get Epstein arrested the first time. He's the man who got Epstein arrested the second time too. Like he comes off as like a guy that figured out who he was dealing with and said, "No, this guy sucks. I want nothing to do with him, and neither should anyone else." And like,
crazy.
From his standpoint, that it was just like the people think it's a huge thing. From his standpoint, was like, dude, this is just nothing. This is I don't understand why people want to see this stuff.
Maybe, but like I mean, what he said to MTG, and maybe you believe her, maybe you don't. I don't know. Let's face it, MTG is who she is. I don't know. But like what he said to her is that if these files come out, that my friends could get hurt. And I'm like, okay, but like maybe, what friends are you talking about? Because like. Right. Steve Bannon kind of comes off bad because Steve Bannon goes in there later and is talking about like trying to basically rehabilitate Epstein's reputation. Does a whole bunch of interviews with him that are kind of boring, to be honest. They're talking about like the crash of 2008, and they're talking about how he like got out of the markets and was trying to basically convince and like they're talking about stupid shit that doesn't matter anymore. And actually,
Steve Bannon's got his own problems.
Right, Steve Bannon has exactly. Steve Bannon has his own problem. And that's the thing, is like Trump isn't close with Bannon anymore. Trump isn't friends with Bannon. He goes around calling him Sloppy Steve. So like what are we talking about? Like
he's got a nickname for everybody.
I wish I had a nickname.
I know, everybody does. But like it doesn't make sense to me to be protecting Steve Bannon. It doesn't make sense to me to be protecting Lutnick either. Oh, Lutnick got caught in a lie here. Okay. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it doesn't look like pedophilia. It looks like you got caught in a lie. Who gives a shit? Like, and plus, he's the Commerce Secretary. That guy could literally be sacrificed on an altar tomorrow, and you know how much of a shit anyone would give? Not one. No one would care.
He's got a big reputation to uphold.
Like, right? Like, who gives a shit about that guy? Nobody. Nobody cares about him. He's easily sacrificed. Yeah, except for him, and I guess his family. Yeah, okay, fine. But nobody else cares about this guy. Like, you could easily just sacrifice this guy, and it wouldn't matter. So, like, why take the L? I don't understand that. That's something that I don't get. That's something that, like, makes me... I thought maybe when these files came out that I might find something on Trump. I really did. Because, like, let's face it, like, Trump isn't the most, like, morally upstanding, like, paragon of virtue. Okay? Like, this guy was... I mean, yeah, like he's out here, like, especially in the early 2000s, this guy was nailing down hookers back then for sure. Okay, I'm not about to like proclaim him some like saint. Okay, he's better than Epstein by a lot, but like, I don't know.
He's Trump,
if he was,
I mean, we all knew.
But he's Trump.
Yeah, we all knew.
We know who we're talking about. This guy is not this guy is no saint. Okay, yeah. I'm not confused. The man's had 3 marriages and cheated on every single one of his wives. Every single one. We're not talking about a paragon of virtue here. So like, if he was going to be in the files, that wouldn't even surprise me that he was like, oh, I attended a party and nailed a hooker. Like, maybe, possibly.
Okay, believable.
Yeah, totally believable. He's not in the files. I can't find anything on him. And like, it's not for lack of looking, I thought for sure I'd find something. And it turns out I did kind of, but all I find on him is that like, he's sort of an unsung hero in the background getting Epstein hemmed up. And like, I don't understand really
the rest of the internet thinks he's guilty of everything.
Yeah, well, because he looks guilty, because he acts guilty.
Correct.
And like, he shouldn't act guilty. There's no reason for him to act guilty that I can find.
Why?
And maybe it's in the unreleased Epstein files. I have no idea. Plausibly, I have no idea.
Why Pam Bondi such floundering?
Yes.
During
what's up with that? That's another thing. Like Pam Bondi's out here making an absolute fool of herself. Talking about, the Dow. Look at the Dow. Like, you dumb bitch. What are you doing?
Yeah,
you look ridiculous.
Because they're all trying to protect each other. For whatever reason, they're all trying to protect each other.
Right, but what are they even protecting here? Like, I don't even understand. That's the thing that gets me, is that, like, if Trump was in these files looking bad, I would be like, well, hey, yeah, I get it, man. That's what you're trying to hide. If even somebody that, like, I don't know, maybe somebody important or some besides like Prince Andrew. Who gives a shit about Prince Andrew? Nobody. Like, I don't.
Prison.
He was at the ranch in New Mexico a lot.
Yeah, he was. Now that guy guilty as sin.
Totally guilty.
You got his ass on camera. By the way, Clinton also freaking guilty. Now I don't know if he was into the pedophile stuff, but I do know that he was hooking up with some real young girls, and he's in pictures. Like you got his ass. Like that man is at minimum cheating on his wife a lot.
she probably
which, to be fair, it's Hillary Clinton. What are you gonna do? But I wouldn't have married her in the first place.
Right. You have to be part of that like elite, Clinton, Bush, whatever Barack Obama is. Awesome.
Yeah,
this is what I was going for. I just wanted
also like Cash and Bongino look like they're complicit too. They look guilty. And Cash being up there talking about, I don't have enough evidence to bring a case against anybody. And the thing is, maybe that's true. Because like these Epstein files, it's basically just a lot of allegations, right? And even in the stuff, it's basically just like people talking about like, oh, there's a party going on. Wait, nudge, let's have some pizza. Ha ha ha. You're like,
but let's be realistic here. Republicans and Democrats, the only difference is the title. They're all buddies at the top of the thing. They're all like yelling at each other on camera and then turning around and having dinner together. It's like, let's be real. They're all kind of protecting each other.
That's sort of true, but it's also sort of like Epstein wasn't having dinners with Republicans.
Right.
He doesn't like Republicans. He doesn't like conservatives. He only likes liberals. In fact, that's why he was friends with Ehud Barak and he hated Netanyahu. Because Netanyahu is conservative. Well, conservative. He's more conservative, I guess I could say. And that's also why one of the reasons why he hated Trump. Well, also because he considers Trump like a betrayal, right? He thinks Trump is betraying his class and his people and the Democrats, and he's betrayed him personally, and like so he hates Trump with a passion. But yes, like they're all buddies up there trying to protect each other, and that's true to an extent. But like when they're going to have dinner with each other, only one of them's having dinner at Epstein's, and it's not Republicans.
What was I going to say to you? Okay. This was awesome, and I appreciate everything. We are going to let you go because it's almost been an hour, and we have a whole other show to do. But this is exactly what I was hoping for. You broke it down for me. You made me feel better because I've been listening to a lot of stuff, and I'm just tired of hearing it all. But anytime we have like some political stuff, I'd love to have you on. Would you be willing?
Of course.
To do that? And then what else? There was one more thing.
Oh, you want to hear? We want to hear one more interesting story?
I do.
Okay, so remember how Karina, right, Epstein's girlfriend, right? She marries, still on the island, and they have at his place in Palm Beach actually too. He has some another dental thing that is at the Palm Beach, his Palm Beach place too. Anyway, it's not really the point. The point is that this girl's his girlfriend, right? And he wants to get back in with Musk once Musk becomes more and more powerful, right? As Elon Musk early on was like, hey, I want to come party with you. Let's party. Let's set up a date. And he never ends up showing, right? But then Elon Musk later on, Epstein goes after Musk, talk about, hey, you should come to our parties. Hey, you should come to this thing I'm throwing. I've got girls here. And he's like, man, and Elon responds to him like, dude, I don't have time. I'm not about to go meet up with some UN bullshit. Like, he just responds with just like blowing him off, right? And Epstein gets kind of pissed about it, and he tries to get back to Epstein or back to Elon through his brother Kimball. Kimball, he gets in touch with and convinces Kimball to hook up with this girl named Jen, who is basically a girl that he ships in, right? He ships this girl in from I believe I don't remember. I'm gonna get it wrong, but she's a white girl from like I want to say East Europe, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. Anyways, whatever. She's this white girl named Jennifer, and he ships this girl in to be Kimball's girlfriend, right? And Kimball actually ends up being like, yeah, this girl's cool. I want to hang out with this girl more often. So Epstein, has his girlfriend, Karina, marry this girl, Jennifer, in a fake marriage to bring her over here so that she can date Kimball Musk to try to get to Elon. And this whole thing, and he's in there bragging, holding up the marriage certificate, talking about I fooled immigration and all this stuff about how like it got into this all this lesbian marriage that they've got him into. And it's just the most ridiculous nonsense. Like you're just like, man.
I could do an entire show of just you telling these stories because it's the most interesting thing I've heard in 2 weeks. And I can't find this stuff anywhere, and I've been looking, so I appreciate it. I do remember what I was going to tell you. I never told you this on Facebook or anything because it's weird, but I'm just going to tell you to your face. You have the coolest eyes.
Oh,
You get that a lot.
I get that. My whole life. I've always been told
cool
that.
is like you transferred them to your children and like all your brothers and stuff have them, and I'm just like the eyes.
You should have a code word for it.
I know it is. Yeah, I've been told when I was little, they would tell me that all the time. It's less, you don't tell grown men that very often. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, your eyes are the best.
But when I was little, they were like, "You have the most beautiful eyes," and when I was little, I would just say, "I know," because people would tell me that all the time. It's like I know, and then my mom was like, "You say thank you." It's like, "Oh, okay,
so
thank you."
Sure.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. The thing is, like, people say that, and I'm like, I did get it all the time. People say that, and I was like, yeah, I know, because like I did know. People told me that constantly. But the thing is, I can't take any.
Your voice did not match what I imagined, but I like it more. You're more like a down to earth dude. I thought you were just like an intellectual that talked very like.
I thought you were an intellectual.
No. He is an intellectual, but I'm saying that like talked very like if we went and had a beer with him,
like a British accent or something.
No, like if we went and had a beer, this is what I would expect. But I thought it was more going to be more like very like big words and like slow pace. And I love it, man. I think you're the most interesting person I know.
I like to write in bigger words. I don't like to talk in bigger words because I find people don't like to listen to bigger words.
I can listen to you talk all night.
but yeah, no,
I'll have you on for 9 hours.
But yeah, my grandpa, I know for sure, had these eyes. My mom had these eyes. I have these eyes, and my brothers and sister kind of have my eyes. They're blue. They're not quite this blue, but they're pretty blue. And then my daughter has my eyes like perfectly. Like she has these.
Whenever
things
your
straight
brothers
out
come
of
across people you may know, I'm like, oh, that's Aaron's brother.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. I got told that a lot. Even when I was in the army, when I was at basic, and my drill sergeant comes up to me and goes, "Man, are you gay?" Because like those are some eyes, dude. Like I was like, "Nah, dude, I don't know why I would be gay." He's like, "Cause you look like you're trying to like attract people with those eyes going around." Like it's like, "Nah, man." He's like, I'm not gay, but those eyes, man, I could look at those all day. It's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like there's something that's just like it's
you
like
sure do have some pretty eyes and a mouth.
You sure do got a pretty mouth. No, but it has been that way, yeah, for most. And it's less. People say it a lot less now because like I'm an old man ish, 42. But
I'm 42 as well. I'm trying to get on to whatever.
Same.
Look,
man, I went to
42.
I know. Man, I went to a karate tournament yesterday with my son. Me and my son been doing karate together, and man, I'm fighting guys that are like 22, and they are. I'm just, like, I don't feel old most of the time, but then when I'm fighting 22-year-olds, no, they don't really do that.
You're just doing it for him. I'm not gonna do that, kid.
Like, man, it's good exercise for me too, But like,
man,
I feel real old when I'm freaking fighting 20-year-olds, and I'm just like, my God, I am so slow. Like,
I work with kids, and I'm
so
just
slow.
Yeah, so
I don't bounce the same way they do either.
Yep. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for being on, and we'll get you back on soon. You are an absolute delight to talk to, and I hope you come back on. Tell your wife we're sorry for taking up your time, but
you're good, man.
And then I'll send you a link to this
chicken.
Yeah, I'll send you a link to this when we're all done. You can, if you want to post it, you can. You don't have to, but I'm also going to post it on my Facebook page. So, Aaron, thank you for coming on, and we'll talk to you next time.
Yep.
All right, buddy.
Yep, appreciate it, man.
Later. All right. That took up almost all our show, but we're
was
going to
fun.
keep going. That was fun. That was a great conversation.
Is your mind changed now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I feel better.
You were a little aggro
No,
for a couple
I
weeks.
was spiraling because
I know you were.
because I'm getting inundated with information that I go out looking for, but you can't ever decipher.
Because I didn't read all the emails. I skimmed on some stuff and like read some things, but like I feel like I kind of have the same take.
Sure, Scott.
No,
I
was like, there's a lot of like code words. There's a lot of things that people really don't know, and people are getting super upset over things that they have no clue
right.
of what is actually going on. It's like the whole eating the babies thing. It's like, somebody interpreted something weirdly, and now all of a sudden it's a thing.
We still don't know if that isn't.
We don't know yet. Obviously, we don't know yet. But I mean, there's people online going, "They're drinking the blood of children." And I'm like, calm down. Let's figure out what's actually going on first.
Right. Well, let's try these snacks. How about that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Let's eat some babies.
Yeah. Food that's made for babies.
Made from babies?
Made for babies.
Sweet.
Kim just wanted us to get these out of the fridge. So
Oh,
we have to
really?
Try those, yeah. All right. So the first thing we got is Hostess Cupcakes, Frosted Golden Cake, Peeps edition. So it's Peeps Cupcakes.
Fucking Peeps, man.
I don't like cupcakes, so my kids can eat the rest of these. Hopefully they come in 2-packs.
This is going to be super sweet. I mean, really.
We have really good content, and we don't have any viewers.
I don't think... The problem is that I don't really ever... Well, I don't have access to that stuff, but I don't pull, like, the numbers. Like, we get plenty of views and views across different platforms. I just don't know what the totals are.
Well, not enough to monetize. Crystallization.
It's got, like, sugars on it.
Whatever. Super fucking sweet. Not super peepee, though.
No.
I'd rather eat peepee than this.
You'd rather eat peepees?
Than this. It's yellow. Not as sweet. Probably a little bitter.
Jesus Christ. They're going to find us 30 years from now and be like, you know what? These guys were talking in code on their fucking show. They're eating children.
I hope not. Would you like to know?
It's not horrible,
It is not good. It's a 2.
but it's like, it's pointless.
It's super sweet, and the frosting, whatever, is super hard. I'm not a fan.
Kind of tastes like a zinger, like one of those vanilla zingers, just not as good.
It's not good. These
Yeah.
I'm excited about.
Pointless. Oh.
What?
Oh, I was just watching you weave through all the equipment.
We finally got a chat? Oh,
No, it's a stupid ad.
dumb.
It's a bot.
All right. So, yeah, last year, we finally got the Dill Pickle Flamin' Hot Cheetos. But now we have Flamin' Hot Cheeto Puffs. I'm really excited about these.
Why puffs, man?
Why not? Why not Puffs, man?
I'd rather have crunchy.
We had Crunchy last
Crunchy's
year.
the superior one.
Also,
That's
you can really smell the pickle on these.
Oh, can you? This does not have the natural flavors and colors. This one has all the artificial colors.
So good.
I think it would just be better without the flamin' hot. Like, I don't need the
I like both.
the stomach diarrhea from the flamin' hot, man. It's like
The stomach diarrhea.
I think it's got a good pickle flavor. And if it was just that,
I think the hot adds a little kick.
I just don't need the hot anymore, man. It's my old ass. Just doesn't want the hot.
Your old ass.
A little bit of spice is fine.
Airhead Soda. Watermelon.
Oh, fuck. The worst flavor. Are we gonna catch your plague?
No, I'm not sick. I'm not sick.
That's what you said last time. Put my wife on her deathbed.
Shit kicks your ass, dude. My house is probably sick. It doesn't taste like anything. Definitely doesn't taste like an Airhead. So this, and then the second one is Airhead's Blue Raspberry, which Kim told me,
It's a very faint watermelon, which is not terrible.
but it doesn't
still
taste
don't
like
like
an
it.
Airhead. Blue raspberries like banana and other things that are not have anything to do with raspberry.
Where'd you hear this?
Kim told me.
Banana.
Yeah, look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
Spicy.
Contain. Does blue raspberry have banana? Wait till you hear this explanation.
Can't wait.
Yes.
Told you.
Most artificial blue raspberry flavor is created using a mixture of chemicals that include banana, cherry, and pineapple flavor compounds.
Told you.
That is super weird. Throw me some chemicals.
Both of those are whatever. They're both 2s. Everything across the board is a 2. The dill pickle Cheetos are a 5 because I'm going to eat that whole bag and I like puffs.
I mean, this one's the better of the two.
You can taste that banana.
I can taste that banana. Banana's really coming through.
You got that banana in you?
Yeah. Ooh.
What?
Yeah, I've got the banana in me.
Your butt.
Thanks
Oh.
for that poll.
So, hey, this is my favorite question to ask you.
Okay.
Because we both know it's not going to happen. You want to go see
You
a
want to
movie?
go see
A movie tomorrow? How to Make a Killing with Glenn Powell. And
It depends. If you're going to do the whole late thing, probably
hold on, let's do it on the show. On the show, we'll do it.
do what?
We'll look for a time.
Plus, I'd have to look at what my work schedule is if I'm like if I have to start super early or not.
All right, so tomorrow there is a How to Make a Killing at 6:55.
You ain't going to 6:55.
Yeah, I am. Kim's off.
full of shit.
Kim is off. She will go.
You're full of shit.
She'll let me go at 6:55.
We'll see. I haven't even seen the frickin' trailer.
Yeah, you
for it.
have.
Have I?
Yeah, it's Glenn Powell and the chick from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he's like a trust fund kid, but he's like poor, and then he decides to start killing off his relatives. Margot Qualley's in it. She looks hot, so just go for that.
Was that why you're going?
No, I love Glenn Powell. I want his banana in me.
Is he? Has he got a shirt and cowboy hat on?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, and they play that song. I saw the light, or whatever they fucking play with these.
The Twister song?
Yeah.
Ain't no love
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Oklahoma.
that
I mean,
was-
just in the rain the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Was that our sex?
That's it.
Okay.
We can talk about movies now. I went and saw 2 movies. First one I went and saw by myself at the theater was Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. This is directed by Gore Verbinski. Maybe heard of. He's made a couple movies. Cure for Wellness, the Pirates movies. Yeah.
The adult ones?
The Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Josh has got a couple copies of those.
Who?
Josh.
What, the porno pirates?
The Pirates, yeah.
Dude, I think he lives to try to make me upset.
Of course.
Okay, well, it's a weird.
Come on, he's like me, man. Like I said, you would get along with him very well hanging out in person because he's just a poke the bear guy.
Yeah. So we went and saw Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, or I went and saw Good Luck, Have
Yeah,
Fun, Don't
it was
Die.
fantastic.
This is a really, really fun movie. It's very social commentary on how we're too much on our phones and stuff like that. But essentially, Sam Rockwell is a time traveler, comes back in time, and he's used a different combination of people to try and stop this like God AI from taking over and like kind of like,
which people are super against right now, man. Dude, people are so against AI.
I know. Anyways, the movie itself is a lot of fun. It's cool. It's kind of like Weapons, where it will show like a different character from the past and like their life and why they decide to join him in this quest. And, you know, like Michael Pena's in it. He's super funny. He's like a teacher, and all the kids are like addicted to their phones. And he like touches their phone, and he's like telling all the teachers, he's like, "I touched their phone. Now they're chasing me." He's like, "Why would you touch their phone?" And like all the teachers are taking sabbaticals. He's like, "I don't even think high school teachers take sabbaticals," but super funny. Sam Rockwell's really good in it. It's a lot of fun. I will say the ending is a bit of a bummer. It's not great ending, but it's the leading up to the ending. It's a lot of fun. So I very much enjoyed watching this. Do you need to go see it in the theaters? I don't think so, but I do think you should definitely check it out. It's definitely a fun way to look at the world right now, and there's a lot of fun things.
It's a congregation.
Funny things that happen. Yeah,
When you go
I'm going
to
to take a sabbatical
When you go
from
to the
movies.
theater, it's like a congregation.
That's right.
You're sitting in the dark
Yep.
with a bunch of people.
That you don't know right next to you.
Yep.
Where'd you hear that from?
It's on Joe Rogan
It sure was.
with your boy.
You listened to it.
Yeah, he's
I told you.
something, man.
Try.
Which I understand, like kind of where he was going.
Yes.
But he comes off as being super nutty.
Correct. And then I'm like reaching out to his daughter.
Like, I get-
is everything okay?
Yeah, blink twice
Yeah.
if you're okay. Like I understand like what Mr. Roger was saying.
Yeah. it
Like
was
I
crazy.
guess he's trying to promote some conversation,
but
it comes across as like he's like super.
But even before the flat Earth stuff, he's talking super crazy about other things, and you're just like he slipped it in, and like even Rogan didn't catch it, and you're just like, wait a minute, did
Yeah.
he just say that?
Wait, what?
Yeah. So I also watched on my television screen Mercy. This is the Chris Pratt, Rebecca Ferguson AI movie. A lot of AI movies right now. Where
gotta embrace it.
Here's what I'll tell you: this movie is fucking terrible, but there is a timer in the corner of your screen, because that's how long he has to solve his own crime. But it also
So it's letting you know how much time is
is
left.
left in the movie, so you keep looking at it like, oh, it's almost over. It's terrible. It's so fucking bad. The twist is bad. Everything about this movie fucking sucks. It is not worth your time. Do not watch it. This thing should have been buried. The fact that it came to a fucking theater is sad. I love you, Chris Pratt. Knock it off. Rebecca Ferguson, you were amazing in the fucking
Chris Pratt's just got to get that
Mission
Just got to get that paycheck right now, man. 'Cause he's hot.
I know. Mission Impossible.
So hot right now.
Was great, but this is you're above this shit. So, I respect, whatever. I respect whatever you're trying to do. I should have saw when I saw January 23rd, just be like, but I was like, it's a fun action movie with fucking Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson. It's terrible. It's so fucking bad.
It just seems like, and maybe this is by plan they release just all the hot dogs at the beginning of the year. Man.
Always, January movies are notoriously put
Yeah.
in January because they're bad. And usually there's one, like a couple years ago, Hurricane Heist came out, and I was like, oh, January movie, but it was enjoyable. And I thought maybe this would be the same thing, but it came to digital super fucking fast, too fast. Terrible.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Aaron is one of the most interesting people I know, and I'm not talking about myself, but that's Aaron Voss. If you go follow him on Facebook, Aaron Voss.
I'm very interesting. If you guys haven't noticed,
I'm not interesting.
I collect cardboard and lots of other things.
Blue Eyes White Dragon. I play. Anyways, the show might. We'll get there, but the show might be changing schedule. Might be changing the schedule, but not for another couple weeks. So we'll let you know when it happens.
An earlier time.
Either an earlier time or Monday. So, all right. I'm Aaron.
And I am Scott, and I am not in the files.
I'm not in the files either. Kim might be. Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.